Mm-mm-mm. Greetings, true believers. Tiki here,
And BlueDragonFive.
and tonight we're here to comb through a box of files we liberated from a fallen shield base, an event we're tackling in 10 installments. And tonight we're on episode 7, entitled Lady in the Lake. Where's it episode 6?
It's 6, and it's different title. It's what is it? The Life of the Party? Is that it?
Life of the Party. Wow. Can I do that over? Jesus Christ, I'm really not getting these intros done right.
Take 2.
Take 2. Okay. Cut, everybody. Cut. Greetings, true believers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And tonight we're here to come through a box of files we liberated from a fallen shield base, an event we're tackling in 10 thrilling installments. And tonight it's episode 6, entitled The Life of the Party. So don't join us as we dust off the files on the shield agent before there was even a shield, and begin assessing Agent Carter. Now let's start with the audio tape.
And now it's time for the Agent Carter Adventure Program, brought to you by Roxxon Motor Oil. And Tales of Suspense, coming to a theater near you.
And Tage Wava Premium Iced Tea, apparently.
Tonight's adventure is a real ball, as manservant extraordinaire Edwin Jarvis is partnered with the dangerous Dottie Underwood, with the sole task of retrieving a sample of Whitney Frost's zero matter-infused blood. But Frost pulls a surprise move that leads to a change in the Council's ranks. Can Agent Carter and our heroes make it out before Agent Thompson finds them? Will Dottie Underwood double-cross them? Stay tuned and find out.
All right. So I stumbled in the beginning, but I think we got through that. I think second intro was good. Second take, we'll go with that.
I'm worried I might have given you the wrong I think that's it, though.
No, Life of the Party. I know it's it because it is the title of the email that I have that has my notes written down, and I always give the episode titles the title of the email. So we're good. We're good. That's what I call a system. Okay, so BlueDragonFive, this was a big improvement over last week.
Yes.
I got to tell you, though, unfortunately, I still haven't had a chance to watch episode 7, so I'm still a little behind. I'm still kind of playing catch-up.
Yep. All the shocking stuff happens in the next episode.
Of course. But this was still, I mean, oh my God. I mean, like, I think episode 5, we might have been a little harsh on it. It was okay. It was just kind of like meandering around with the plot. This was really good. This got some very interesting character development in there. So let's jump right into it. There's a lot to get into.
Okay, so picking up where last episode left off, Wilkes has seemingly disappeared, and apparently when he disappears, or at least like kind of essentially before he finds the light at the end of the tunnel, we assume, he's kind of in the zero matter plane of reality. It's just kind of like, it's like between, it's like a ghost limbo, so to speak. That's where he's at right now. He's in kind of a ghostly limbo. We get to see what he would fade into.
Mm-hmm. I think the sound design here is very effective. You hear Peggy's voice kind of calling to him very, very faintly.
Luckily, he reappears, and he informs Peg that he could vanish permanently at any time because of this, because it's getting really dangerous. And again, he's like basically running out of. They don't explicitly say. I'm just guessing that he's running out of just consciousness or something that can keep him there.
I mean, I just think it's just he's slipping more and more, and he's just getting really freaked out about the whole situation. He's like, Peggy, you're not taking this seriously. Everything is not all right.
Exactly.
It's kind of one of the first times he really snaps at Peggy, honestly.
Well, he's not getting to that point quite yet. He's just really more like desperate, like, oh man, I could vanish at any point here. This is really getting really bad. Let's see. Peg asked about building a containment field like he did with the original Zero Matter that was contained to sustain him. In the meantime, he points out that he has no mass in this form. He's a ghost, so there's nothing to contain. So there can't be really a containment field. But then she remembers, of course, when the Jane Scott the Jane Scott tissue sample had a little bit of zero matter on it, and it clinged to him and gave him momentary matter. Mm-hmm. Gave him mass for a moment. So she suggests exposing him to more zero matter, solidify him in the meantime so he can be contained.
So I gotta say, I think this zero matter stuff is paying off now. I was kind of complaining at it
Plus, I'm pretty sure any questions we have, I think there's a really good chance they're going to be answered in Doctor Strange. I believe that's what I could have sworn that.
That's actually exciting. Okay.
I mean, they've said that this stuff definitely ties into Doctor Strange, so I think there's a good chance if we have any lingering questions, they'll be looked into with Doctor Strange. So let's just keep that in mind.
I still think it feels a lot like Symbiote, but
no, it's not at all like Symbiote.
No, I think it's kind of like Symbiote.
Anyways, let's see. So, right, so it can be contained. So basically, if it gets more of the zero matter, if they build a containment field, it can be contained, be kind of constantly solidified, so it won't lose mass and it won't disappear forever. But there's only one place. Unfortunately, there's only one place left to find zero matter, and they both know what that one place is: Whitney Frost.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Meanwhile, let's see what's going on with Whitney. Whitney's going over plans to herself. She's very she's still that little girl, very methodical. Very just kind of thinking about some scientific breakthroughs, but still driven a little crazy by the zero matter too, because zero matter is feeding her a lot of inspiration because she has this big, powerful force. It's like ideas just popping from her head of like, oh man, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this with it. Chadwick asks if she's okay. Do I look okay? Again, a very loaded question in a marriage, I'll point out.
Sure.
Do I look okay? You never want to answer, especially when the lady has like a huge gap.
What makes you think that I'm okay? Is it the fact that agent keeps ruining everything that I work for? Is that what makes you think I'm okay, Calvin?
So then Chadwick tells her that he's arranged a meeting with the council for her, and then we know at the end of last episode that mainly out of terror, he's gotten together a meeting. We don't know quite what that meeting's for. We assume that was like they get him bailed out of this situation, like telling the council what's going on. So there's that tension in the episode. You don't quite know, but you have a good idea he's going to betray her. Mm-hmm. But I love how they play this the whole episode of that. Again, the loyalty. He plays the loyalty of the Whitney Frost so well that you do believe that he does care about her. He's doing this for her own good, but you don't know if he's going to like at the last minute be with her or against her.
Yeah, they played the suspense quite well because we assumed at the end of last episode it was maybe like, okay, call the council together. We got to deal with this situation. But here we're kind of left a little ambiguous about it.
I mean, here they play that great kind of friendship, friendship kind of partnership really well. In that, I was rooting for these two in the episode. I was like, oh man, it seems like they're really gonna gotten over stuff. It's like he's saying, well, she has all the power. I'm going to quail that. And maybe we can build something out of this. And of course, we're going to see how that goes south.
Oh yes.
Okay, let's see. So Chadwick tells me he's arranged a meeting, which of course he's cashed in all his chips for this too, because the council doesn't take willy-nilly meetings, and of course with a woman too, which isn't kind of at the time not ideal, but I guess he hasn't mentioned that part. Mm-hmm. Let's see. And he basically points out the reason for this. Well, you've always been the brains. I mean, you did this for us. I'm sorry. He says I did this for us. It's going to be us, we can actually make our mark in the world with the counts and all that stuff, all the stuff she was talking about.
Yeah, he also points out, this is a very, he points out that, he hasn't been that supportive of her. He hasn't given her the proper support. So,
yes,
so with this, he hopes to make up for it.
Yes, when they see what you're capable of, they'll give you anything you want. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you get this again. There's this lovely moment, but again, there's that tension underneath it all. Like she gives I mean, she's crazy, but you love her too. It's like she gives like a big old thank you hug, like oh, thank you. It's like oh, it's so sweet. But of course, you have Count Joe just giving this look of like oh boy, what am I gonna do? So whether it's like right at the moment she's sweet to me, then she's gonna kill me, or it's like I'm gonna double cross her. It's gonna be very tense.
Exactly.
So again, I love that they play that on the edge of your seat tension of like, oh man, what's he planning? What's gonna happen?
Sure.
Okay. Meanwhile, let's see. So what's going on? Meantime, Anna Jarvis, who returns, and she's lovely.
Yeah, this is kind of my idea of like tension in a relationship done absolutely right here.
Oh yeah, the Kim Wexler approach.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, Anna Jarvis is such a breath of fresh air this season. She's so great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. So she's witnessing Peg's wound being stitched up by Jarvis, and I love everything about the way she plays Anna Jarvis here. It's like, is that through your whole body? Says, oh yeah, well it's actually a good thing, so it prevents infections. That's through and through.
Yeah, that's very true.
Played very gruesomely. It's like she's just being sewed up and right out of Jarvis. Like,
so okay, might I say BlueDragonFive? I think one of the main reasons I love this episode so much is my God, they play Peggy's injury so realistically.
They do. They do.
It's so impressive. It's like Die Hard. It's like Bruce Willis getting his feet cut in Die Hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was one of the major high points for me. Anyways, we'll talk about that as it goes along.
So basically, you know, you can see on Peg, you know, she's in a lot of pain. You know, it's very painful. But you know, with Peg, she's still limping through. She's still going to the door again. She should probably be getting a lot of bed rest, but she's not having it because there's work to be done. To Anna's amazement, by the way, like, oh wow, she's still moving around like that.
Then Jarvis is just casually like, "Oh, I'll be back in time for tea, Gia."
Yep, and you get a sense right now, and it's going to definitely big time going to be called back to in the next episode, that Anna is really taking in the risk of the job, of just seeing, you know, what risk Jarvis is at right now in this job, and like, you know, one day she may be a widow or something if she's not careful.
Right, and I feel like I said, I feel like this is much more understandable and much more relatable than what we got last episode with Sousa and Violet.
Oh yeah.
So
let's see. So Peggy arrives at the lab and she sees Sousa. Sousa looking really just dead tired. You know, he hasn't got any sleep since he really hashed it out with Violet last episode. She informs Sousa about Wilkes' situation, you know, that they need him for the case and that they need a sample of the zero matter to help sustain him. And they need it from Whitney Frost, and the best place to get it, the best place where she'll be out in the open to orchestrate this little caper, would be at Chadwick's campaign rally, I guess. You know, campaign event.
Some sort of fundraiser.
Yeah.
Or something like that, yeah.
Sounds like a party of some kind about the campaign.
Something that Theo Gallivant would put on.
Gallivant?
Curse you, Gallivant!
Wait, curse Gallivant or Gallivant?
No, I'm cursing Gallivant for bringing on the name confusion in the first place, because without Gallivant, we wouldn't have this whole mess. Gallivant came first.
Well, Gallivant had it first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Gallivant had it first, so curse you, Gallivant.
I mean, time period-wise, he still had it first, too, which is... Again, the lineage.
Really quick. I never told you this, but there was a fan theory floating around that, you know, Gary Gallivant. What if his real name was actually Gareth? And Gary was short for Gareth.
What sense does that make?
It would just be like, I don't know, Gary being short for Gareth.
Well, I mean, it's just that you have two Gares. What's so fun about that?
I think it would be funny. Like, after all this time wondering what his name is, and it's not even. It's like, yeah, forget it. We're getting way off track.
Yeah.
Fucking Gallivant, man. Fucking Gallivant.
I think we're gonna be seeing more of him on Gotham, but we'll get to that. Let's see. So Peggy arrives. Looks dead tired. Okay, so the campaign event. So Chadwick's campaign event, and Howard Stark already has been sent 2 invitations because he regularly contributes to events like this. And so Jarvis has the invitation, so he's expected to show up on there. And you have an additional thing for Peg or someone to slip in there. And they have a modified vacuum syringe. And I love this gadget. This modified vacuum syringe is super suction, so it will absorb the fluid before the person really gets to notice. It will be painful, but momentary pain. To get the sample of the zero matter for Wilkes.
It'd basically be like the pain of a mosquito bite or something, I'd imagine.
It's like a pinprick, literally.
Right.
Okay, let's see. So plan is to get the sample and make an exit. Sousa points out the problems. And I love Sousa being kind of a rational guy at the room, pointing out like, yeah, well, I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you for this plan, but there are several problems with this that will foil us in the end here. Sousa points out very logically that problem is, well, one, Peg can't do it because she's still hurt very badly, and she's encountered Frost recently, so I think Frost would instantly recognize her even if she wasn't in a disguise, because I mean she's been up close with her personally, almost killed her.
Yeah, and that's kind of being a theme this season where we're seeing Peggy's enemies kind of like just see right through her disguises.
Agent. And one of my favorite lines, Sousa says, well, what about you? Why don't you go? And he says, well, I don't think I'm going to fly as Jarvis's date.
Yeah.
And they keep going through their other options. Rose's mom's sick, so she's out of the show temporarily.
Apparently, yeah. Nice writing her off, writers. Good job on that.
Well, we'll see what happens because again, I do have to wonder and so when we're gonna get Angie in the show because it's getting close to the end.
Oh my God! I completely forgot about Angie.
I mean, she doesn't appear in the next one. I wonder if she's gonna take Rose's job or she's just going to appear at the talent agency. You know.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It'd be cool if she showed up at the talent agency. I'd be down for that.
I assume that's what they were going to do with her, but we're kind of it's getting to the end. So I think she has like 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, she's got 3 episodes left. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll see.
Anyway, so Sousa points out that problem. He won't fly Jarvis's date. Rose's mom's sick, and they're not sending in a civilian. It's too dangerous. They need someone trained and unfamiliar with an unfamiliar face who's trained.
And then I have written down in my notes. And then Peggy got an idea, an awful idea. But Peggy got a wonderful, awful idea.
Now, what's funny? When I was watching the episode, I almost practically said to myself, Peg's got a terrible idea. And then she says, I have a terrible idea. Okay, but we know what she was thinking. Because the promo we knew, but still, she has an idea who they can get, and it was a brilliant idea. We got to Dottie Underwood in prison, in her little prison cell, and she's being greeted by a psychologist, Dr. Wexford.
Yeah, and she just instantly sees through Peggy.
Again, I love the actress that portrays Dottie Owen. She does such a great job as playing. Again, she is essentially Peggy Carter's Joker, and I love that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is she's in like a friendship with her enemy. It's like, oh, she's my best pal ever in the world. It's like how Joker sees Batman. This guy's my compadre. We're simpatico,
What would I do without you, Peggy? I can't do like Dottie Underwood nearly as well as like Joker Heath Ledger.
You complete me, Peggy.
Oh God.
Okay, anyway, so Dr. Wexford, who is Peggy in disguise with the American accent, again, I love whenever she does that. She has to be alone with the inmate. It says, we have a lot to talk about. And then we cut back, and instantly it's very like kind of Hannibal Lecter-esque too. It's like Hannibal Lecter Joker-esque, because whenever Batman would visit the Joker in the comics in costume like one of his other aliases, he would always know that he wouldn't know it's Bruce Wayne, but he'd always know it was Batman. Like, oh, Bats, what are you doing here? Take off that ridiculous getup. Put you on the other ridiculous getup. Come on. That sort of thing. So right off the bat, Dottie notices that Peg's hurt. So again, I love that she's kind of like unraveling, like, how can I take her down? Like she's thinking of all the angles. Like, oh, Peggy, you're hurt, aren't you? And Peg right off the bat, and I love the interaction between these two because again, she has so much respect and obsession over Peggy Carter. Says, let me just make this clear. The Soviets and Leviathan have not been asking for your release, for you to be released back to Russia. Then Dottie says, she just gives us a look and says, this is my surprise face. And let's see, so she suggests
we're in a cube, Peggy. There are 6 walls.
The line leading up to that was that she suggests that she decorate the cell and says, well, I'll know. It takes more than 6 walls to hold me, and then you get that great line. 6 walls. It's a cube, Peggy. I just love the idea Dottie Underwood's
thinking. Try to keep up, Peggy. Try to keep up.
I just love the idea that Dottie Underwood's thinking so ahead of the game. It's like she knows like there are 6 potential routes of escape here: the ceiling and the floor. She's not ruling out anything.
Of course.
Actually, the idea that Dottie Underwood would escape through the ceiling cracks me up of that person.
I could see it happening.
All right, so let's see. So Dottie is very excited, and she's very excited. And she deduces that Peg's here unofficially. She basically threw really smart observations. Say, well, you're in disguise here. You're not flashing your SSR credentials, so you're here unofficially, which means you need my help. Let's see. Meanwhile, Wilkes is instructing Anna Anna Jarvis how to build the containment field, which I love that idea, by the way. Anna Jarvis is very handy, especially with like kind of threading this stuff and just following instructions because it makes sense. She's great at sewing things up and kind of doing all that stuff.
And Wilkes kind of has a major foot in mouth moment here, I think.
Yes, he does.
Oh God, he's just giving away a little too many details about the plan. So let's see what is it exactly. Well, he believes Peggy, but, you know, a lot can go wrong. I mean, they're basically surrounding themselves so they can get as close as possible to the most dangerous person on Earth. I mean, they have no reinforcements, and I have in my notes, just shut your mouth, Wilkes.
It's just what cracks me up about this. Yeah, they have Anna, poor little, again, I love Anna Jarvis so much. I just like characters with Anna or Anna in their name, apparently, because I love Anna Frozen. I love Anna Jarvis. Apparently it's a theme. But Anna here, she gives a little heartbroken look of like she's just getting more and more scared for Jarvis.
And Wilkes is just like over-exaggerating, just piling on top of it.
And then he realizes, oh, well, you know, I'm sure it'll be fine. They'll be fine.
God.
He just realizes at the last second that, oh wait, this woman is fearing that she's going to become a widow. I should stop talking.
And then Jarvis just walks in. He's like, "Darling, do you know what my cufflinks are? Yes.
My formal ivory cufflinks.
I need to look my best because there's a lot of responsibility this evening. I'm leading a mission right into the thick of the action."
Oh god, you can imagine. I'm not saying she doesn't have faith in her husband's abilities, but still, she is. The fact that he's leading this really dangerous mission.
Right.
Worried about cufflinks. That's not encouraging. And also,
he does need to look his best. I mean, to be fair, you know, Jarvis is a man of class.
I'm with him there. I'm just saying, I'm with you. Want to look your best, even if you are facing the end. You want to look your best.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You know, he's in the. Well, I'm really in the thick of the action this time. He's just so excited. It makes Anna all the more worried.
Which, again, I feel is very natural relationship drama because, of course, the big primary focus of Jarvis this season has been Jarvis wants to be in the action. Jarvis gets a thrill out of the action.
And, of course, they're definitely continuing in a very great fashion, just showing how in love he is with his wife and how just, you know, devoted he is towards her. You know, I love that relationship so much. Because they built it up so well in the first season. Here we get to see kind of actually like the little glimpses we get of it.
They built it up so well that we just thought she was going to be that enigmatic character that you just never saw her face, and we were perfectly fine with that idea.
But anyway, so with Anna here, it's like Jarvis is kind of picking up that there's something wrong, and you know she's kind of brushing it off. We're going to see later on how that pans out really wonderfully too.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that you think it panned out. Okay.
Oh, believe me, it's going to pan out. It's going to pan out great.
Great. All right.
Meanwhile, so Peg's asking Dottie about the pin from the first episode that she was trying to steal from the bank. From the bank.
It's not just a pig, Penny. It's not just a pig. Wow,
it's not just a pin. A pin.
It's not just a pin, Peggy. It unlocks, maybe it unlocks the secrets to every decision ever made in this cesspool of a country.
Or maybe when you touch it, you're transported to a world of tomorrow.
Or maybe it just matches my blouse. Who knows?
Well, Tomorrowland reference for the folks out there.
Yes. I got it. Good job. I see what you did there.
But I love it. Just Dottie's messing with her, maybe hinting at some plot points, maybe not. Just like, maybe I just wanted my blouse.
Mm-hmm.
She's just that crazy, But still, the idea she's hired to steal this because it could be kind of a key to basically taking down the council's organization. We don't know. Okay, let's see. So after the pin gag, cesspool of a country, really good line. Peg says, "Okay, fine, play your games, but I'm here to break you." Essentially, she says, "Play your games," and then get to the point that, "Well, I'm here to break you out."
Oh yeah.
And I can't. And then she says, "Well, as long as we have the understanding, says, look, I can't offer you a deal here, but after all is done, I can cut you I cut through the red tape afterwards. After basically the council's out of power, and I can arrange your deportation." Dottie agrees. She's a giver. I'll agree.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, "Just so we're clear, I know you'll." Peggy says to her, "Just so we're clear, I know you're going to run, and I just know that I'm prepared for it." And then Dottie responds with, "Just so we're clear, I know your deportation lie. Basically, I know you're lying about the whole deportation thing, and you can never be fully prepared for me."
Oh yeah. Love these two interacting off each other.
So great. Again, it's like essentially it's kind of like again if it's her Joker, and yet you have kind of Madame Mask here represents her Red Skull.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. Like
these. Of course, I think there's also a little bit of Harley Quinn in there as well.
Oh, absolutely. There's tons of Harley Quinn. Okay, let's see. Some people, oddly enough, and I can understand this, but some people love Harley Quinn more than the Joker.
I can understand that. I can understand that.
Like that is like the best Batman villain. I can kind of see that too.
I can see it. I can see it.
I'm saying Harley Quinn goes are really big with people. It's really cool.
She's got a legacy for sure.
She does. Okay, so back to this. So Dottie, they reach the agreement and basically help out. You help me, then you're back in the cell. That's the agreement. Okay. Gives her. Oh, I love this gadget so much.
Oh my god! And you know who else would love this gadget, BlueDragonFive?
Jesse Pinkman.
Yes. Oh my god! Magnets, bitch! Oh.
Considering we have female characters here, that might be offensive.
You know what? It's magnets. It's magnets.
Okay. Regardless, we have this great thing. Peggy, like on her way out, she hands this compact, the magnet compact. And as she leaves, the guard walks, grabs the cherries, and then Dottie's all alone to herself, and she uses she separates the compact. It's like two really awesome kind of magnet clamps, and she uses them to basically unlock the tumblers like a bank vault.
I gotta say, I think this might be my favorite gadget in this entire run of the show.
In the whole run, or just the season? In
the whole run.
I don't know. There were some good Stark gadgets, but this one is definitely in my top two.
Yeah, I think it's up there for sure.
I'm sure there's one I'm forgetting from the first season, but I really like this one.
It's so practical. That's what I love about it. It's so simple to use. It's like anyone could pick up and use it. You don't need like training to use it, and it's so practical. It can be used for so many different things. Anyways.
Let's see. So, before she left too, by the way, Peggy gave her the piece of advice. When you leave, no window shopping, which feeds into a great reveal that we have. But before that, after that, she also says, "Go right." So when you leave, no window shopping and go right. So I love we have a reference to one of the really awesome gadgets from the first season when she opens the door and she sees the guard has knocked out lipstick on his face, implying the Sweet Dreams.
Right.
The Sweet Dreams knockout lipstick, which by the way Dottie used on Peggy last season.
Sure.
A little reference there, and I love this gag. She looks for his guns. Oh, Peggy, you're no fun.
You're no fun at all.
Such a Joker bit.
Anyways, I know that was a total Joker bit. You're right.
Okay. Anyway, so then Dottie flees, and then we get the reveal that the super secret SSR. Well, again, I think it's an SSR prison. It may or may not be. It's a hidden prison in. I assume she's flown to New York for this, but I don't know. I don't know if it's in LA because she was arrested in New York. So I don't know if Peg just flew all this way for one time. I don't know. Damn it, Howard Stark has the money. It's not unfeasible.
No, it's not out of question at all.
Okay, regardless, I love the super secret prison. It's like a closed like a shopping area. It's like it's this really super secret prison for high risk criminals. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then she flees and instantly goes left. She flees to the left instead of going right like Greg told her. And then we have this awesome bit. This is probably the best bit of the episode, potentially. There are a lot of good bits in this episode. This one's at least my favorite. Because, being a fan of, I think Kevin Smith said it best. You just love your heroes getting one up on the villains, kind of beating them.
Of course.
So she flees to the left, and she's in an alleyway, and then just meeting her there are Peggy and Sousa wielding. I love that Sousa's the guy that gets to wield this. It's so cool. So this giant net launcher. He just launches this net on his Dottie has this moment of, did you really think this is going to stop me? Is this moment of like.
First, the net does look very silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the old Hollywood thing where you always see like people being trapped in nets. Like, why don't they?
Right.
And again, I think it's a reference to old Hollywood. To be honest with you, it's like the whole the net.
It's got to be since it's the 40s for sure.
Yeah, and then anyways, and then I just love that it's like not putting on the facade of I'm a little nutty. It's like the whole. No, seriously, did you think this is gonna stop me? And then Sousa says no. But this will. He basically flips a little switch on the gun, which electrifies the net. She's like flailing around on the ground, all electrified. It's hilarious. And that's what she gets for being responsible for Chief Dooley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what she gets. I mean, she did a lot of bad. She killed. Well, remember, she did kill Krasinski. That's what she gets for Krasinski.
I know. Poor Krasinski, man. I miss Krasinski.
Yeah, Krasinski. No.
He went out way too soon.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's what she gets for Krasinski, and I love that. Then Peg just like walks over there and she walks over to the gun, and then flips the switch again as she's like knocked out already. Again, I love our villains getting their comeuppance. It's always fun. Just like the twice for good measure. It's like happy now, very much so. Big scene. Dottie awakens. I love this too. This touch. They are on a schedule, so they can't have all the theatrics. You have to have some theatricality in mind though to get things ready, get things the ball moving. Dottie awakens fully dressed in a really nice looking dress that is very reminiscent of Black Widow, by the way.
Right.
Which I liked.
Of course, I mean, it makes sense that they have very similar backstories.
Of course. Well, she's tied into the program that made. Like, absolutely.
Sure.
So Dottie awakens fully dressed, and we hear this. I love just the way this plays out. Like, we're wondering, what the heck's wrong with her? Is her hearing damage from the shocking net? Basically, like, we hear this vacuuming sound. I'm thinking, is Jarvis like vacuuming comedically in the background? Right. and then it's revealed that she has this hair dryer on. I just love the genuine moments that just see through the cracks of these two of just where Peggy says, she says to Peggy, I can't hear you. Oh, sorry about that. Just sit down. And he says, oh, now it brings us to this item, the diamond choker. Oh, Peggy, that's so nice. Maybe I should return the favor with a choker of my own.
Oh, boy.
And the choker in question has a tracking device built into it. And at first I thought this was a bluff, but apparently it's a real thing. So we'll see. Upon removal of this thing, a neurotoxin will, in case someone tries to remove this, or it can be remote detonated, by the way. Not detonated, but remote activated. Sure. A neurotoxin unleashed from the necklace. I guess it injects the person in the neck, giving them 35 excruciating seconds until death.
Yeah, that's a legit threat, I'd say.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And apparently it's a real thing, so that would have happened. That was an option. Okay, so let's see. Meanwhile, Jarvis enters, and we have a hilarious bit with Jarvis.
Oh my god, this honestly might be in like my top 3 favorite Jarvis bits.
Basically,
this was priceless.
In succession in the scene, we get really 3 hilarious Jarvis bits. So first off, he just walks in there, Miss Underwood. Jeeves. This is just a match made in heaven of these two interacting with each other. Just the complete. Oh, yeah. I mean, if Peggy Carter is just like the good version of that, this is like a true opposite of these two. Are the opposites in every single way possible. So Jarvis then asks about a firearm. I assume I'll be given a firearm. Which firearm am I going to be given this time? And she says. No, we're not doing that. She'll take it from you. Oh, that's not fair. Or he says something along the lines of that's preposterous. That's simply not true.
That's poppycock.
It's poppycock. And then we just say, basically points out, where's your watch, Mr. Jarvis? Oh, that's right. It's on my wrist. Where else would it be? And then he just before he finishes the sentence, he realizes that Dottie Underwood stole his watch.
Yeah, but Dottie's nice enough to give it back. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you got me."
Oh yeah, and then let's see. So he says, "Okay, fine, a knife then."
Oh boy.
And then this next bit's hysterical.
This next bit, this was one of the bits that I just had to pause because I was laughing so hard at it.
Again, there are 2 really funny bits here. So first, it starts with him just like leaning over after fine, a knife then. And he leans over and says, "Or a cane." With a sword, with a sword on the inside, and this Peggy's like, "Oh, come on!" That is ridiculous. Because she just doesn't want to bicker in front of her arch enemy. She's like flips the hair
She's
dryer.
Like, "Give us a moment, please, Dottie."
It's like basically turns on the hair dryer and always basically pantomime, hilarious. And
oh my god!
Chemistry, the real life friendship between Haley Atwell and James Darcy. How well they play this comedy.
So James Darcy, he's just like miming like. Essentially like getting stabbed with a sword, right?
Well, no, he's miming like various weapons he could use.
Oh, okay.
Like you see him like pull out nunchucks and
right.
Nunchucks and like a cyanide capsule.
Like
the idea that he would awesomely pull out a cyanide capsule and get the enemy to eat it. Essentially, that's the idea. It's like he thinks of himself so cool. Like I can convince him to eat this.
Oh, it's so great.
He's like jumping on the ground. It's like it's hysterical. It's oh my god. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So then Whitney feels very self-conscious. I was wondering when they were going to get to this, and I like that they're addressing this. Now we're getting closer and closer to that mask, Tiki. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, I know. They're like this episode especially. They're just like, yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, and I love this. I love them addressing this because I was curious about this in like this season on Agent Carter, how they're going to pull off, because we saw like you're not cut out for Hollywood. She didn't have a mask or anything on. So,
right, and of course it's been a big build-up with their character and the whole, the emphasis on physical look and whatnot.
Yeah, like every time she does the little zero matter trick, her scar intensifies, it grows bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, she's feeling very self-conscious, and she realizes she can't cover it up with like her hair this time because it's gotten so big and so kind of craggly. On the left side there, you just see she said, "No, I can't do this. You have to cancel the meeting." Of course, no, we can't cancel the meeting. Are you the strings I had to pull? We can't do that. And then she's feeling very self-conscious. It's a really human moment on Whitney Frost, which I did enjoy.
It is.
Again, it's bringing back that sympathy we feel for her, which is great.
Yeah, it kind of brought us back to episode 4 when we got into her whole backstory and everything.
Yeah, and this whole scene just epitomizes what I love about kind of the dynamic between these two, and why you just this whole episode you're not quite sure where Chadwick's loyalties lie, because he does feel an affection for her, and he's such a great support net for her that he quails her insecurity like any husband or just any friend would, just like saying, well, look, well, here's the solution. He grabs like kind of this purple kind of ribbon flower veil thingy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's a little thing you put in your hair, and basically it kind of blocks the whole left side of her face. There's a little purple veil on the left side of her face, and she feels all better. And it's really
such a nice, genuine moment between the two of them.
Yeah, she gives like this. It's a really sweet thank you. She says, "Oh, thank you. You were so supportive for me. I'll thank you properly later." Again, it's like this is such a sweet relationship. I don't want that to implode. It's like you root for him, man. Again, that's a big question of like, how is Chadwick still not dying yet? And you get a sense that she really doesn't want to kill him because they have such a good partnership going.
She doesn't want to. She really doesn't want to.
Yeah, you see what I mean though? It's like they're remembering that, and all this time they complement each other so well. Again, it's like the kid thing we had, where she's still that little Agnes Cully, and he's the lovable fat kid that's her friend.
Oh god.
That's what he is. I'm not saying it's a shame. I'm just saying he's like the adorable chubby friend of hers.
No, I'm just thinking of like Carl and Ellie at this point.
I was thinking of something else, but I was thinking like kind of Connie and Stephen for a moment.
Oh god.
Agnes Cully with glasses on, little Connie, little Stephen.
Yeah, I could see that.
Stephen was made mayor once. He was made senator once.
Why are we comparing Steven Universe to Calvin Chadwick?
I was watching some Steven Universe before this.
Okay.
Anyway, so there's a lot of tension about Chadwick's plan, if he's going to betray her or not. We kind of get a sense that he is, but he's really having second thoughts about it. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Peggy tells Dottie about the target. Here's her target. She starred. Have you ever seen her before? Nope. She starred in F is for Freedom. I guess I didn't see that.
She's very sarcastically like, "Oh, that sounds like my kind of picture."
No sarcasm on Dottie Underwood. She is really interested. Jalee's all like, "Okay, it's information. I'm a master spy agent. I know how to do all this stuff like that." But I mean, tell me about this new beau of yours, Peggy. I'm really interested about him. About Wilkes. And I love this, but I just love how accommodating Wilkes is. He's still so pleasant. He's just like, "Hello, hello." Don't talk to her. Just like Peggy being on her going, "No, don't talk to her. She's a stranger." And she points out, she tells Dottie, look, Frost is very dangerous. Whatever you do, do not touch her.
Sure.
Just use the vacuum syringe and just get the sample out of there. Mm-hmm. Get the sample, get out of here. Here's a listening device, basically this little kind of is it a flower for a hat or like a little hat she's wearing? What is it? Like a little.
I want to say it kind of called to mind like Peggy Carter's iconic red hat. So I want to say it's just a hat.
I don't know. It's like I think it was like a ribbon thing, kind of like Whitney Frost.
You could be right. It
was like a little red ribbon sort of thing, whatever it was, a little ribbon thing. This is a listening device that we can keep tabs on you, and Mr. Jarvis has one in his eyeglasses, so that's how we're going to be listening to what's going on, get some evidence going on. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So,
but she's confused about this little doohickey, and then she kind of like tries to usher Wilkes over there.
I'm convinced what would have happened if what she would have tried to do if he.
What?
I think she would have tried to stab him with the thing and either kill him, just demonstrate what was going on,
Dottie Underwood, forget the Joker comparison. I very much think this is very much like a Loki dynamic minus the whole sibling thing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't trust you at all. Like the whole montage of like, if If you betray him, I will kill you.
It would be the most horrifying thing, like the most kind of dark payoff to the whole like friendship, like the fake friendship and everything. If in season 3, if it happens, if Dottie Underwood comes back and she does her kind of like whole become another character thing where she becomes Angie.
Oh God! Oh God!
Can you imagine there's something that dark? Like, oh no, poor Angie, no.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, so again, I'm convinced like she either would have like just like joshingly got a sample out of Wilkes or tried to kill him with the syringe. But if he actually went over there, but he just walks by, and as she says goodbye to him, it says bye, Dr. Wilkes. And basically, he phases through her, and all that little bit there, like what the? It's like the one time Donna went speechless, so like what the heck? The guy's a ghost.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's see. So, but again, this is important plot details because she's going to be armed with this information next episode. So remember that.
Okay.
So she knows that Wilkes is kind of in a ghostly form. Okay, let's see. So Peg and Susie, they're in the van with the equipment, kind of monitoring the situation because Peg can't go out in the field, and Susie's just there to keep her company and also run things from the van. Basically testing the system and the equipment. Says, well, as much as I hate to say it, Miss Underwood is a phenomenal dancer.
I bet she is, man. I bet she is.
Of course she is. She studied Snow White. She has to be a good dancer.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's see. So they got eyes on.
And Dottie's just like, oh, this place is truly impulsive.
I love she developed a taste being in all these field operations. She just knows, like, I've been in so many high society things. This one's just so drab. But okay, so they got eyes on Frost. They also say, and I love this, that as they're doing the strategic thing where they keep moving so they can kind of get like a good good view on like what's around them and what's going on, like who's there and who's not there, just while they're dancing, and then they point out, oh look, there's Thompson.
It's the blonde one. You should go say hi.
Just the fact that she calls him the blonde one. That's what she knows.
It's like just wanting to just straight up go up and say hi, even though Thompson was like literally in a room torturing her the last time they spoke. It's so absurd. It's very Joker-esque in that moment.
He wasn't torturing her; he was interrogating her. Later on, trust me, we're going to see actual torture going on.
Okay.
That was just interrogation. Then she tortured him with the desk on his sternum.
Yeah, she did torture him. Very, very true. She did turn the tables. Literally, very literally.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Soon we're going to have one of the best lines of the episode coming up, but not yet. Chadwick, Masters, and Thompson meet. They're mingling a little bit there, and Frost is there. They're talking about communism, and fighting the Red Invasion. Basically what he'll do when he becomes senator. Mm-hmm. And there's a mention of Dottie Underwood's arrest. How ironic! It's like, oh yes, well we've made a big stake in that communistic threat fighting because we captured Dottie Underwood, big member of Leviathan. We're doing good with that, Mr. Chadwick. Yeah.
Right.
Then Frost is kind of hitting on Thompson, saying, "Oh, I wish you have a face so pretty. You should be in the movies with me too." And he says, "Oh yeah, she's my secret weapon," and she is actually.
Chadwick's kind of like pulling her close.
He said, I love the fact it's like, rein it in.
Right.
And there's also point out, she's my secret weapon, because literally right now she is the secret weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's see. So then as Peggy and Sousa are informed that Thompson's there, we get this hilarious bit where Dottie Underwood asks, should I kill him? And they both simultaneously say, Don't kill him! Do not kill him.
Oh God.
And then there's a little bit of comedic cut to Dottie Underwood saying, oh, come on, it'll be quick. It's like, come on, let me kill him.
Please.
Okay, Dottie Underwood and Victor Zsasz should be a couple. They really
Oh my God, they get along so well.
Or if not a couple, then become best friends and play that song. Let me tell you something about my best friend. Just the montage of them killing people left and right, being the best of
And
battles.
You know what? They just go around stealing muffins all day long, just stealing muffins.
Know who the last victim would be?
Yeah, I know who the last victim would be. It would be the ABC executive from the Muppets.
Yes. The Lucy who gives the muffins of doom. Okay, we're referencing other shows now. Let's get back to this. So after the hilarious simultaneous, do not kill him. Oh, come on, it'll be quick. You'll be quick. Jarvis, I just love the fear on Jarvis, like, abort, 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 abort. He's obviously speaking into the glasses just to make sure he can be heard crystal clear.
Well, there's a lot of hilarity with Jarvis in the glasses. I think it's a great prop.
Yep. And then Peggy's telling him, well, look, no, you can't abort. We need to make do with the situation. You improvise and work with it.
Sure.
Okay, all right, Miss Underwood. And then just Jarvis saying, all right, Miss Underwood. He's getting ready. He's all confident now. He's going to pep talk for me. Okay, we got to improvise. Okay, here's the plan. Okay, Miss Underwood. Oh, dear. I just realized she's gone. She's full of Batman. She's gone.
And she's gone.
Then Jarvis goes, oh, she does that.
Mm-hmm.
That little Jim Gordon reference for the folks out there. Okay, so Vernon educates Thompson on the kind of the power he's rubbing elbows with.
I really like this speech. This is a great villain speech right here.
Yes, this is really good. I mean, he points out, there's Thomas Glossner, who was our Wall Street guy, and he basically controls all Wall Street all the money of Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I love these.
Hayes controls every newspaper west of the Mississippi.
Yep. And I just really love that they're just kind of highlighting our big council members here, just kind of letting us get to know them for a little bit here, just kind of getting to know why this group is so powerful,
Sure.
Okay, so they basically keep the world spinning. These guys, this group, this organization, all the people member of the Arena Club here, the Arena Club and the council, they keep the world spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Then there's this hilarious guy. I didn't catch this until the rewatch, but I just laughed so hard. Right, I don't know if she was planning to do something, if she's planning to kill him or not, or just say hi. I don't know what she was planning to do, but she's like right behind Thompson, and then Jarvis just quickly scurries back there, just drags her out of the way. He's like, no. It's this hilarious thing. Seriously, rewatch it, folks. One of the funniest physical things in the whole episode. Just she's getting closer and closer to Tom. She's right behind Thompson.
No, I totally missed that.
We keep the world. This group keeps the world spinning. Dies right behind.
Oh god!
Thompson.
Oh god!
Jarvis just runs by and just grabs her and whisks her off screen. Okay, let's see. So.
Hugh Jones.
There's one stain on your record, none Hughes. And what's that? What's that one stain? This perfectly cued, by the way. Meet Hugh Jones, and it's Hugh Jones. He's really sour memories of Peggy Carter, particularly what she's done recently. Not so much the knocking him unconscious thing, because it was kind of unconscious in and out, so we don't know how much of that he remembers because of the potential brain damage. But he's really peeved about the missing bombs from the bombs his company made.
Of course.
Says, are you coming after me again, golden boy? I love the way, I gotta tell you, he doesn't have a lot to do in this episode, but I love this is my favorite portrayal of Hugh Jones that Ray Wise has done. I just love the performance in these two bits he has, because this one cracks me when he just says golden boy.
Golden boy. Yes.
It's like saying, you wanna pop at me, kid? You wanna pop at me? It's like that sort of thing.
Exactly.
But I mean, the second
want to fight about it? The little leprechaun in Family Guy.
Right. You want to fight about it?
Hey, you want to fight about it? Right.
Okay, but my point is, later on, we're going to get a really... seriously, the bit later on, though, I think is just some of the finest Ray Wise acting for this character. I was so blown away. We'll get to that. I love that bit. We'll get to it. So, Vernon points out, well, you're going to have to impress them. If you impress them, you'll do well.
Oh yeah.
He also impresses upon him, you shouldn't let Agent Carter make a fool out of you. She's making you look bad.
Yeah, which definitely kind of can lead to some conflict with Thompson, for sure.
Definitely. Because, again, we're not quite sure what Thompson's doing right now, because it seems like he's just kind of getting some telling the information on the organization, but at the same time, he's really forming his own choice right now. He's unclear if he's fully into the evil organization or not. So we think he's either gathering intelligence or he's actually kind of being seduced to the dark side.
Exactly. There's a lot of gray lines going on this episode.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So the plan is for Jarvis to distract Thompson while Dottie grabs the thing.
Do you think this was a good plan in retrospect, since it just sang alarm bells off in Thompson's head?
Well, let's think for a moment just to make sure. Okay, so Dottie, obviously she makes a break for it to go to the thing. Would they have? Well, it's to make sure Thompson doesn't spot Dottie Underwood. One, eventually he'd probably find Jarvis at the party if he's schmoozing around with everyone, which he would know eventually something's up. So it's kind of like, we know he's there, but primarily we need to make sure that he did meet Whitney Frost, so like he's aware of Whitney Frost is there, and if someone's going after Whitney Frost, he might pick up on it. I don't know. I mean, they need distractions to make sure she can get up the stairs to not get upstairs, just to find Whitney Frost. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I think it kind of makes sense that he would eventually find Jarvis there.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just it definitely does not plan out as well as they were hoping it would.
No, it doesn't pan out as well because again, it's a fool's thing to do because he is gonna set off the alarm bells, but the alarm bells would have still been set off anyway. So
yeah, very true.
It was a Hail Mary pass just to make sure that he's distracted for a moment.
Okay, I see what you're getting at.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So while he's basically Jarvis right off the bat interrupts Thompson's mingling time. By the way,
oh my God, like he straight up cock blocks Thompson. I mean, I hate to be so naughty with it, but
yes, Thompson's like being hit on by this woman. It would seem. And here's my question: do you think did Jarvis put this woman up to that, or is that?
I don't think so. I think it's just Jarvis genuinely just being very socially clueless at that
I must say that is like, again, if there was like a minor issue with the episode. I mean, in retrospect, he could have just monitored him, and then if he was getting close, then interrupt, because it just seems like he's just interrupting just to put himself in line.
You know what I think it is? I think it's just kind of like representative of Jarvis being so gung ho, and he's got a mission, and he's not even thinking like, oh, there's some pretty woman distracting him. He's not going to be looking at Dottie at all. It's like, no, it's like, oh, I've got to distract Mr. Thompson. It's me. I've got to do it. I think that's what it is.
Then again, to be fair, I believe it's like on the left side. That's where the staircase is to get up to the powder room, and then Dottie would have to pass that way. So if he did catch a glance of her that direction, he might think something's up.
Very true. Very true.
So I mean, there might be a little bit there. So it's subjective, and we'll see what happens.
Wait for subjectivity, Steven.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem. It seems like there's a logical purpose to it. That it was on that side, so he has to kind of put him to the other side to distract him.
For sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, so as he's interrupting Thompson's mingling with ladies' time, he says, "Oh, Mr. Yoselnik? Yeah, I think it's Yoselnik. Chief Thompson, I bet put a $50 bet with Mr. Yoselnik. He thought that you were Burt Lancaster." And he's wondering what's up with the glasses, and then Jarvis gives him the glasses excuse that he's developed like astigmatism of some kind. This last time he thinks they make him look rather distinguished.
And Jarvis is just right off the bat just being a terrible liar in this whole situation.
And Thompson again, he's no slouch. Don't get me wrong, he'd be a little more open-minded, but he's no slouch. He knows that Peg's up to something, because this would be the perfect opportunity to strike. He's not ignorant of that fact.
Mm-hmm.
And despite the vacation excuse, he knows that she's in the area, so it's like,
he's not stupid. He obviously, the vacation excuse is looming over his head for sure.
A little vacation thing, because he says, "Oh no, she's at the mansion right now by the pool, I believe."
Reading a very, very dry pop novel.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so then Thompson said, he's eager to secure the premises.
Mm-hmm.
Because now he's suspecting that Peggy Carter's around the areas. Now definitely the gauntlet's on. So again, whether it's just entirely there is some strategy there, or it's just Jarvis not really thinking things through. It's one of those two.
Right.
He points at Jarvis. Now at this point, Jarvis is turning strategic as he's just trying to kind of distract him right now. He's saying, "Oh yes, your employer, Calvin Chadwick, Mr. Chadwick," because he knows you work for this guy. And really, he doesn't work for him. He's just trying to push Thompson's buttons now.
Yeah, right. I think that is kind of strategic on Jarvis's end. He's kind of trying to get Thompson into a conflict with Jarvis instead of sending him into patrol the area. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So now it's just on keep the guy busy as long as possible. Now it's busy. So it says, well, I will work one day. I'll probably be working with Calvin Chadwick to protect the country. And then Jarvis saying, again, I love at Jarvis. Actually, there is a lot of truth to what Jarvis is saying, and he's trying to subtly warn him at the same time. So Jarvis is pretty clever though. At the same time, he's saying, Chief Thompson, I should tell you, you're out of your depth in a room full of sharks. And then Tom says, "Oh, that's a good piece of advice for me to ignore. Here's a little tip for you. Last tip for you. There, baking soda is when you use baking soda when you do the laundry, it'll get rid of stains."
Everybody knows that.
As Thompson makes his dramatic exit, he's listening. Well, everyone knows that. Why do you put that out? Like, out of all the things, out of all the tough talk he could have laid on me, that's
exactly. It is pretty absurd.
Yes, but then again, he's like saying, "Well, you're telling me things I already know. I know I'm in a room full of sharks. Thanks."
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Okay, let's see. So Dottie collects the. She bumps in the powder room. She bumps into Whitney Frost and gets that sample, claiming that it was her. It was her like her brooch or something that pinned her. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I stick you? And then because Whitney Frost is like very. She started to become numb to pain because of the Zero Man. She says, "I barely felt a thing." So basically, the action goes unnoticed by Frost, and it's mission accomplished. All right, but then Dottie ditches the listening device, puts the water on, and she's on a mission of her own, collecting intelligence. She wants to know what's up with this. Why am I stealing this gobbledygook? What's going on? There's a ghostly guy. There's this gobbledygook from this woman's blood. What's going on?
Now, my personal theory on this, maybe I'm wrong about it, and of course, we have a whole other episode, so so don't tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I kind of got the sense that she was collecting intel specifically to use as a bargaining chip with the SSR.
Well, that's interesting. I only hole I can see in this because well, again, Dottie doesn't know this, so you might be kind of right, but it's like, they know the SSR is definitely in with this. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Dottie definitely suspects the SSR is corrupt. So I mean, she kind of knows that wouldn't fly. So I don't think that's
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good hole to poke. Okay.
Let's just say they have a line in the next episode about like her definitely knowing that the SSR is corrupt, and that's like, yeah, well, because she mentions earlier on.
It's getting pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah, because at the beginning of this episode, she had that line, the whole like your country, the bad country, what was the line about she had the awesome line about like your whole cesspool of the country. That's it. Your cesspool.
Cesspool of the country. There we go.
Yeah, she has like a little respect, assuming it's corrupt and all that stuff. Maybe that's it. Okay, let's see. So, point is, like, she is gathering information. She wants to know what's the big deal about getting this blood sample from this lady and why she's so like, so uber scary. This is such an easy job. She's wondering what's going on, and she's probably just doing it to mess with Peg. And she's always plotting an escape. So that's the main plan. But her curiosity is getting the best of her, and she did try to steal from these guys, steal the pin about this organization. So she's definitely trying to gather intel on the council, regardless.
I'm sorry, I just realized we passed over one of the best bits with Dottie and Jarvis.
Well, I mean, they're kind of separate right now. What's going on?
No, I think we passed over the bit where Jarvis is kind of giving her that lecture.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we passed over that.
Didn't we? Oh, yeah. How did we miss that?
I know. How did we miss that?
Okay, let's backtrack a little. I can't believe
because that's one of the best. Like, I wouldn't have even said anything, but that's one of the best bits of the episodes. So.
Okay, let's. I'm so sorry, folks. I don't know how we missed it. Oh my god.
No, it's all good. I was just looking at my notes and I was like, oh my god, that like we passed it. Like, no, go back.
Okay. So just to backtrack before we get into the Dottie solo here. So basically, at the point where just to educate folks where it was, it's where the plan is established that Jarvis is going to distract Thompson.
Right.
Dottie's just getting sarcasm back, saying, "Oh, right, like an idiot. I don't know what to do." Essentially, it's what she's communicating, and then Jarvis just kind of lays down the law with her.
You are a nuisance. But for the next 10 minutes, you will follow instructions, and you will conduct yourselves and act like a professional.
And then
is that understood?
And Peggy on the other side, she gives a look of pride of like, I'm so impressed that Jarvis is sticking up to my arch enemy. And then Dottie gives a salute, a sarcastic yet still endearing salute of like, yes, sir. And then like Jarvis like,
yes, sir, Jeeves.
Yes, sir, Jeeves. And I love then and Jarvis, like before he goes to the Tom's just to show to build up his courage, he grabs a glass of wine, he downs it all. And then he says, follow my lead.
Oh god, so well timed.
Anyways, wait, tell me, that explains something. That was definitely part of his goal to distract him while she could go up the stairs. That had to be it.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh yeah, so we missed that, folks. Sorry about that. But there's just Miss Underwood. You are a nuisance. It's just fantastic scene. Okay, yes, so back to Dottie solo here. So Dottie, she's tailing Frost, heads to the main conference room before the rest of the council guys head in there. She hides at the council meeting like a little cupboard or something. So then Frost enters, and basically she gives the Council of Nine the pitch, the big pitch.
Oh boy.
And she realized, she apologized first of all, saying, Joe, I'm sorry for wasting your time with my original zero matter thoughts, because I made a discovery that it's not about energy, it's about power. And she demonstrates this by, allow me to show you. A little hat box she pulls out a lab rat, and she absorbs it right in front of them, terrifying majority of them. Dottie sees this.
She also reveals her face.
Yes.
Like she's, oh my god, just the showmanship with Whitney Frost is just off the charts here.
Oh yeah. Dottie bears witness to this just to see what she's capable of.
Oh yes.
And then the men are very surprised, particularly Tom Glossner.
Mm-hmm.
They thank, but it's ambiguous who they're thanking. They say, "Thank you for bringing this to our attention." And I think we know how to proceed next. And Chadwick, for a moment again, it's such a heartbreaking scene at the same time.
Yeah.
Because again, I really wanted Chadwick to be on her side, but I knew it wasn't.
And he's like, "You were perfect, Whitney. You were perfect."
Yes, you were perfect. And then
that was like basically the equivalent of like, "Oh, look at the rabbits, Lenny. Look at the rabbits."
So sad. And then she's basically like and here's what's so insulting about it. It's like an animal, because she's being like, they have like the thing you would use to get a stray dog.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
It's so sad, and you feel it's so interesting that we feel so bad for Whitney Frost, because again, it is kind of the origin of a supervillain in the scene. It's like her becoming more and more villainous.
Totally.
Yeah, that's what's so sad about that. We understand absolutely why Frost is the way she is. She wants to be Peggy Carter, and just in becoming that's not as easy.
I think a pretty good comparison to make here would be Ingrid from Once Upon a Time. Kind of a similar arc of, becoming more and more villainous, but as she's becoming more villainous, she's also becoming more sympathetic.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's that, but it's also just definitely, she's like becoming Peggy Carter through really dark means, which is making her a perversion of Peggy Carter.
Sure, definitely.
Okay, let's see. So again, so horrifying, saying she's being like carted away, and saying don't, and then Calvin Chow just making a turn on a dime, saying don't touch her. Make sure you don't touch her. And again, it's so heartbreaking. Again, I love these two as their relationship, and I felt so bad.
Mm-hmm.
As she's being wrangled before, poor Frost is being wrangled, and right before she escapes with her powers. She escapes with using her powers, and like big time using her powers, and she really uses them by making like the big old zero matter, like just guided zero matter blotches, just reach around the floor and just attack certain people. She's gotten that good with it. It's that's scary how good she is, and how horrifying the effect is too. By the way, it absorbs 4 council members.
Mm-hmm.
It absorbs 4 council members. Remember, when you're being absorbed, it's a really painful process too. By the way.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, it's kind of like the Ant-Man thing, where you're being imploded in the end,
Right.
So these 4 council members are being, and unfortunately, I wish Tom Glossner wasn't absorbed, but he was the one. You knew his fate, because he was the one that said, "Yeah, we know what to do now." But because I like that guy, and I think he was the most interesting.
Tom, poor good old Tom.
Yeah, and he was old too. Poor good old.
Yeah, he was old.
I felt so bad for him, because he was the most interesting out of the council. He was responsible for the Wall Street crash.
Right.
He was responsible for the Great Depression. That's awesome. Anyway, so he gets absorbed among the other bunch of them, and many the gash on her face is growing, and Chadwick is just begging her, "Please don't do this." It's so sad. And he's like begging, "Please, Whitney, don't do this. I'm sorry." And Frost is genuinely emotionally hurt, and she says, "I made you." It's so sad the way she says it, because again, it's a little Agnes Cully just saying, I have a friend. I have, you betrayed me. You made me think. Again, this episode.
So now picture a scenario where fucking Connie is forced to kill Steven.
Oh God.
You put that in my head, so there you go.
Well, you know how she do it poetically, don't you?
Oh God, how?
Well, she'd stab him through the star.
Of course. Oh God.
And it'd be like basically the way Pearl got killed, but no coming back. Remember, it's like shadow. And it'd be like the whole.
All right. Let's get off of this whole children killing other children thing.
Okay. Anyway, Oh, and the gym would shatter too. That would be the big thing. The gym will fall.
Oh, shut up! No more of this.
Anyway, back to this. But seriously, though, it is this really saddening bit where Frost, again, this whole episode, she's been built up by Chadwick, giving really encouraging things, the things she's wanted to hear for so long that, you should be taken seriously. It's basically saying that little girl, everything she believed in can actually happen. I was wrong not to underestimate you as everyone else is. I'm gonna help you show the world that you can contribute, that you can do everything you set out to do. And of course, that being eventually a lie, whether he believes in it somewhat or not, because he has to acknowledge that at some point, that he knows that she's the brains behind the operation.
BlueDragonFive, you know what we need in this situation right now?
Inside out tissues. Right. But seriously, it's just that
it's good to have these on hand.
But it's that he believes that she is more competent than ever, and then he's really scared by that too. It's like not just like macho-ness of like my wife is more powerful than I am. It's like she's really too powerful. She's really scary.
Exactly.
So whether he believed that or not, it's like to the point where she actually does need to be kind of put down, essentially.
Right.
And again, it's so sad. She just that line says, "I made you." That smart girl says, she made him into everything it was. So she was that supportive to him, and like she gets that inkling of support from him back, and it's just it's all false.
Oh yeah.
One could say a false face or a mask. Okay, anyway, so then after I made you, then she absorbs you, and it's a sad thing.
And like we said, it's something we've been kind of like on the edge of our seat waiting for a few episodes now.
So essentially, the Council of 9 is down to 5.
Yep.
I'm sorry, the Council of 9 is down to 4. Sorry, it's 4 members, then Calvin Chadwick, so it's down to 4.
All right, so I love this. Like, Frost just properly calls the meeting to order at this point.
How cool is that? She's just
like without missing a beat.
Well, she's become 40's female kingpin right now in this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She's now the leader of the organization. She killed the guy with the she beheaded the Russian in this scene. That's what she did.
So she needs unrestricted access to Roxxon motor oil. Just starts making demands. She needs the press guy to speak with Masters and bring him up to speed. She needs Hayes Publications to fabricate a story about the sudden disappearance.
It wasn't Roxxon. The company's called Roxxon. We just keep thinking of the opening gag we have. Roxxon motor oil.
I'm sorry. What is it?
No, it's just Roxxon. We need the Hugh Jones. We need access to Roxxon's access to
Roxxon motor oil.
A brand you can trust.
Along with Audible.com, BlueDragonFive. Did you know that? Oh God, I'm sorry.
Don't want to be sued.
I know.
Okay, let's see. So, anyway, Hayes was the newspaper guy too, but I wish they kind of addressed it. And Hayes was
is what I call a callback, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. So Hayes needs to cover up the deaths of all these council members.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. So then, this Whitney Frost's really awesome bad guy speech. Like now she's kind of become a villain. This is kind of like her kind of putting on the black hat, so to speak.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Her putting on the Heisenberg hat, so to speak. She says, all of you have been specifically chosen. I love the idea she calculated this as an opportunity. Like, in case anyone's opposed to this, I'm going to use my power to get rid of them. So she was planning this all along to take them out, but she didn't want to take Calvin out.
Right.
That's what's so interesting about that. Like, she was hoping they would all be on board, but she was more than willing to take them out if it was necessary. That's like what's scary about that. Anyway, so she says, you were all chosen to be part of this because each of you can be loyal and useful to me. Until the moment you don't, you will all be able be granted access to my unlimited power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then Hugh Jones, I love the way Ray Wise delivers this.
Yes, this is a great moment. Oh my God.
You can tell he's definitely just saying this to save his own skin, but I mean, just the pure acting chops that Ray Wise.
He's so terrified, but at the same time, he's very convincing in spite of how terrified he is.
I know, it's just
so many layers to that. So many layers.
It's so pleasant, though. It sounds so genuine. I mean, he's just saying it to save his skin, not be a part. It sounds so convincing. It sounds like he believes this. And it's like, oh my God, again, Ray Wise, such a good actor. He's underrated just the point. He's very underrated as an actor. He doesn't get it.
He is absolutely. I've liked him since before the show for sure.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Ray Wise here.
It's like I'm very excited about this collaboration. I look forward to seeing where your leadership takes us, Miss Frost.
Oh my god, it's so, again, it's so genuine. I love just the thing in his voice when he delivers it too. It just says, Miss Frost, I have something to say. It's like you think, oh, it's right. Or something. By the way, I just want to point that real quick. I was so happy that I was so worried for a moment when Tom Glassner got it. No, Stephen Jones, not him. Dude, he's our Howard Stark connection. No, not you, Jones. Where's Roxanne? No. Thankfully, he was alive, and again, he had an awesome line following that. Again, like this new direction. I'm looking forward to this new leadership and where it takes us. Really fantastic, and Frost is genuinely. It seems like she's genuinely touched by it. Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Like, oh my God, so Bray Wyatt is such a fantastic actor. I really hope that he comes back in the third season if they have that. So I really hope, that's just the big thing. I really don't want him to die this season because I love Hugh Jones.
Right. Yeah, that is kind of like one of the big suspenseful things now. All right.
Okay, let's see. So Jarvis warns them that Thompson's definitely onto them, and he's looking for Dottie Underwood. Well, that meant that Jarvis is looking for Dottie Underwood. He's walking up all these stairs.
And I'm speaking through the glasses, and it makes me look like a madman. Very peeved about the situation.
Peg wants to go in. Sousa points out, she's still really injured, and well, if you're caught, you can't even run. What are you gonna do, Peg? You can't do that. And he says, well, I'll improvise. And then, she trying to open the door, and then, are you okay? She's like, fine. Again, I love the way Haley Atwell she does pain really well. She does. She just kind of delivers like, man, you get a sense she's realistically in pain. It's like kind of the way the voice goes up,
Like I said, I love how throughout the episode we really never lose sight of the fact that she is seriously injured, and I feel like it's something other shows would kind of just gloss over. Maybe give like a shot or two of like, oh, I'm hurt, but then be generally kind of performing as normal. But no, here it's like it's a general like. It's a storytelling device, and I love it. All right, anyways.
So anyway, she pops her stitches. It's revealed that she popped her stitches that we have this red splotch on her shirt, and then they point out, well, you just pop your stitches, open the door.
Mm-hmm.
And not so fun when your buddy quits on you. Huh? Well, welcome to my world. And I love seeing him. This is a great Sousa moment where she's kind of pointing out, I know that's like, he's kind of relating to her, like, and her asking, like, how do you do it? Well, I'll tell you when I figure that out, but letting others help you is a step in the right direction, and it's helpful along the way.
Right.
It helps putting faith in other people. That's what he says. Meanwhile, Dottie's looking for the. Dottie, for a moment, looks at the Zero Matter, sees the blood's not actually blood. It's like all the Zero Matter goopy, scary material. And then she runs right into the last person she wants to see, Vernon Masters, who again is like, he was just bragging about, oh yes, we captured Dottie Underwood. Ha ha ha, that was us. Communist bad. We got her.
Yes.
Just the quote robot. Anyway, so then just freeze, stop, and it was bring her back, you're alive. Basically, Vernon sends her again. We get some Black Widow action here, essentially, because she's in the black and the red, which looks really cool. Sure. Like a dress version of the Black Widow costume. Looks really neat. Meanwhile, we have some real drama going. As we have some action going on here, we got some classic romantic Marvel drama going on here. As in the van, it's a really conversation going on between Sousa and Peggy Carter here, mentioning that basically, well, I guess Violet's going to have to stitch me up again or help out with this, and says, oh, well, it's maybe we'll have to go somewhere else, and then pointing out that, well, what's going on? And Sousa's trying to downplay, like, no, it's nothing. Daniel, tell me what's going on. Jarvis overhears all this conversation, by the way.
Right.
Like it's a soap opera, pretty much. Like, oh man, I gotta listen to this.
Daniel, he's like, Violet broke off the engagement, then Peggy's like, what? And then Jarvis gets started. It's like, oh, yeah.
And for a moment, he just stops completely from
right.
going about the mission. He just like stops listening to it. It's like, it's high drama. It's like King Richard. It's backstory. I love backstory.
Oh God.
Forget eating a family of hobbits. I want backstory.
Oh God.
But
as that poor family of hobbits.
Yes, and
I hope it wasn't Samwise Gamgee and his kids. Anyways.
Even the younglings.
What are we going to do, Mr. Skywalker? There's too many of them. All right. Okay.
So,
there's a goofy movie movie Force Awakens thing I need to tell you about off air.
All right.
Remind me.
All right, so there's so basically Peggy's like, oh, what right does she have? I'm going to straighten this out. I'm going to let's say give her a piece of my mind. And Susan's like, no, Peggy, you don't have to do that. Wait, stop. Says Peggy, it's because she thinks I'm in love with you. And then I guess Love Jarvis just completely stops in his tracks and just so and then Peggy gives us genuine Haley, she's the best, saying, oh, Daniel, I'm so sorry, I've muddied up the relationship, I'm so sorry.
Right. It's like you don't really she instantly goes like, it's not like, oh, you're in love with me. It's like she's like, oh no, oh, that's horrible. He has all the sympathy in the world for him, which I love. Anyways. Yeah, and then they're going in for the kiss, which speaks volumes going forward, by the way. Then they were about to go in for the kiss. But they're interrupted by a giant thud on the roof, and Jar's like, hey, wait, my soaps, they're gone. Someone fixed the cable connection. Essentially, because then he's like, everything's stuck. Miss Carter, everything okay? Right.
Now we check in to see what's going on. We find that Dottie is fighting the security team that Vern has around him, and one of them is dead on the roof of the van.
Oh dear.
And as she battles, Thompson appears, and then he gets a lucky one, and he knocks her out. Very lucky. Mm-hmm. And the sample of the zero matter is out in the open. The vacuum syringe is out in the open, waiting to be found, which is tension. So, we got Peggy and Sousa. They're at the aftermath. They're on top of they're outside of the van, saying, "Oh boy, Dottie, they think she's escaped. Well, we can track her. With the transponder, but it's not working. As you can tell with the van, all destruction there. Like that's not good." Jarvis thankfully swiped the zero matter, so he got out of there before SSR agents found it, and then says, "Well, I can't exactly go back there because they don't appreciate people muddling through the evidence."
And he also points out, "Oh, who is the dead gentleman? I'm sorry."
Anyways, then it's basically suggested by Sousa they do a calculated retreat because they're outmanned. She can't fight anyone, and they should really get out of there while they can. Masters, let's see. I'm just trying to think here. Masters is informed by Jones about what's going on, like this whole shake-up. Wait, one more time? Like, slow down here. What's going on? Basically told me, now this can't be serious. This can't be going on. And then basically told that, Whitney Frost is now taking control of the council. And it's if you better get on, believe me, you're getting the news the easy way.
Oh yeah, he is. The guy's not lying.
and he tells him, well, you better get her that package tonight. You better get her that package tonight because you don't want to mess with her. You don't want to get on her bad side. Vernon, take a word for it. Then he fake compliments Thompson, saying, "Oh, what a great job! Well, thank you, sir." He points out, "No." Well, essentially, he says,
this is definitely like a Red Foreman moment right here.
Well, you recap what it is.
Oh, good job of cleaning up the mess you made, jackass. Okay, he doesn't actually say jackass, but
essentially that's what it is. He's giving like it's so mean. He gives him like a fake compliment too. That's like the one you, I think. So he's saying, "Oh, great job." It's just genuine saying, "Oh, great job." And Thompson buys into it. Says, "Not." It's like,
like I said, it's so Red Foreman-like.
Yeah, great job, you dumb prick. You screwed everything up. This was all because of Peggy Carter. What's wrong? What you getting out of this? Essentially pointing out, she needs to be taken out of the equation.
Mm. He points out, like, Underwood was sprung by a female psychiatrist. Who else would be crazy enough to unleash Dottie Underwood upon the world? Come on.
Which is a valid point.
It is a valid point. It is.
Okay, then they basically, well, she needs to be taken, she needs to be taken out of that. She needs to be taken out. So you want me to kill Peggy Carter? I love that Thompson's putting his foot down. He will not kill Peggy Carter. I love that.
Yeah, but he says, Masters is like, I didn't say kill. Killing makes her a martyr.
Both morally and strategically, she'd be a martyr if she got killed. And then he points out that, well, we need to do something worse. We need to discredit her, make sure all her findings will, basically be bunk, essentially. Mm-hmm. And he also, then Thompson says, I have even more issues with that. And as Thompson, as it dawns on him, I must be slipping in my old age.
You're gonna have to remind me of this, though. Like, what exactly does Peggy have on Thompson?
Oh, remember the whole war story about how
right? Yeah, I knew it was a war story, but just you're gonna have to trigger my memory on it.
Well, the war story that he was just basically he got that Medal of Valor for just watching basically doing nothing while his men around him got killed.
Okay, gotcha.
But he got the medal for like bravery. He didn't really like fight him off or anything. Just he watched his men get killed. It wasn't like a brave battle.
What's the scandal in that though? Like, is the scandal like he didn't deserve the medal and he?
Well, it's just the fact that she knows this personal truth of like his Medal of Valor wasn't for heroism. It was just for dying.
I gotcha.
It's more of an embarrassment than actual leverage, but that's just like so. It is something juicy though. It's like something really personal, really kind of like reputation detriment.
So I think the way Masters interprets it though, I think he probably thinks it's a little bit more severe than it actually is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it still is. It's like in the world of politics, it's really severe. Like, oh man, it's like this guy. This guy isn't like the brave kind of golden boy we think he is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's like for what Thompson is trying to build up with with his reputation. That's very true. Anyway,
it's like you're trying to like make the next like a firefighter that saved the kitten from a tree, the mayor or something, and then you point out like, oh no, he didn't actually save that cat from the tree. The cat just fell and he caught it.
Right.
Essentially that's what's going on there. So
for sure.
Okay, let's see. So she's got something on you. I just love the way he plays it though. Like don't tell me. I don't need to know. It must be pretty bad. The only way to fight leverage is with more leverage. Kurtwood Smith's awesome.
He is. I love him as like one of the main villains this season. He's really tearing it up.
And it was a good Jim Gordon, by the way.
He was. Anyways,
let's see. So Wilkes is very happy. He's on top of the moon. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be holy. I'm gonna be a real boy.
Oh God!
Hooray!
Oh dear! Really? Yeah.
Well, what else would you? He's gonna be a real scientist.
I'm gonna be a real boy.
I'm gonna be a real scientist.
Oh God.
Anyways. So let's see. But however, in the meantime, they should be always celebrating, popping out the bubbly and everything. Peggy and Sousa, they're focused on finding Dottie Underwood. And also, they mentioned kind of a big downer on the situation. Chief Thompson's here. Says, "Oh boy," and I love that Sousa offers to like kind of take the bullet on this one. Saying,
oh yeah, he's totally gonna fall on his sword for her for sure.
Well, he says, "No, I'll take care of this." Peggy gets up there, she puts the robe on, makes it seem like she's been sleeping at the Stark Mansion, on her vacation. It's like, oh boy, I just partied so hard last night.
Right.
Nothing going on there, but she basically gets up there, and they have their classy rapport of like a little bit of insult stuff. But Thompson's trying to grill her to it and trying to deliver a point here. So Thompson's a little more serious with it. So he's pointing out, "Do you know a Catherine Wexford?" He says, "Oh, I know a Catherine Hornstock, but I haven't spoken to her in years." And basically, Thompson bottom lines is saying, "You're coming with me on this flight at 4:30 today."
Because there's no place in my office for people who can't follow simple orders.
Yeah.
And then Peggy, I love this. She's just standing her guard totally.
Yep. Then she's saying he's saying, "Well, don't chase the boogeyman into quicksand." That's what you do. I love that old 40s analogy. Don't chase the boogeyman into quicksand. Like the ultimate kind of cop lingo of like, don't chase don't chase a conspiracy down the battle you're never going to win.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, forget it, Jake. This is Cloud Town.
But then here's a great moment, though. Again, they're showing you that Thompson's not all gone. There's definitely still some sympathy and hope for Thompson. He says, "Look, Carter, please, just come with me. Just don't go down this route, please." I just love it. He really doesn't want to have to like discredit her and do all this horrible stuff to her. Just he's begging her, right? He says, "Please don't do this." And she's saying, "Well, I'm not wrong." He says, "You'll lose, Carter. I won't lose." And she knows that she won't lose. And in the end, I absolutely believe that she's going to win at the end of the day. Of course. She's Peggy freaking Carter. Anyway, let's see. So then Thompson then says, "Sadly, yes, you will. You're going to lose." But however he does this,
you'll never see it coming.
Yes, you'll never see it coming. But there's this really great bit of hope at the end of it, though, where he genuinely says good luck, because part of him wants her to win at the end of the day, but he is going to have to. Again, a similar situation on the first season. He's going to have to be the opposition to her.
For sure.
Okay, let's see. So at the end of the episode, shows Dottie was the package in question that was being delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in the trunk, and who opens the trunk, Tiki?
It's Whitney Frost.
Bum, bum, bum. Evil Nexus.
Okay. So yeah, that was the episode. Like I said, it'd be kind of pointless to do speculation, being as though we're still an episode behind.
Yep.
But what were your overall thoughts?
My overall thoughts. This essentially was kind of what I was hoping episode 5 would turn a little bit more into with the promo. You know, with the whole a heist, a caper of some kind going on. There's a lot more energized, a lot more. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. I guess it's because they're not spending so much time getting ready for the thing.
I think there's a lot more moving pieces in it.
Yeah, I think it's because it's a little more character based in terms of spending time a little bit more time with our villain. We're getting to know her. We're getting some great character setup of the high points and the low points set up there. She is we have this tension going on, if Chad was going to betray her or not. And then of course Whitney Frost's turn was a huge point of this episode. And again, the Hugh Jones line was fantastic.
Yeah, there was some really, really good stuff this episode. I would wager to say it might be my second favorite episode of the season after episode 4.
But honestly, since the first episode debuts and the first 2 episodes debut, when I had that promo of what's going to be on this season, this is the thing I was most psyched for. Just seeing Jarvis doing an undercover operation and Thompson being the roadblock at the party. I was looking forward to this a lot. I was just wondering when we were going to get this, and I was so happy. I was happy with what we got here. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this episode. I want to make kind of a quick observation in terms of speculation, just very, very broad spectrum, kind of mission statement of the show, broad spectrum.
Right. What do you got?
So we're getting a lot of shades of the SSR being corrupt, right?
Oh yeah.
And we know what that's eventually going to lead to is Peggy branching off and forming Shield, right?
Yes.
And of course, we know what happens to Shield.
Yes.
So I don't know. I just think it's a kind of a fascinating parallel to kind of put out there moving forward.
Yeah.
So, all right. I wonder, it's if the show does kind of continue, maybe season 3, we see the formulation of S.H.I.E.L.D. It'd be great if we could eventually see just all the tricky thing would be how would they do the Hydra stuff and then have our main characters unaware of it? You know what I mean? That would be the tricky thing.
Well, I mean, they could cleverly set up the, again, how this organization kind of becomes the secret seeds of Hydra. Next season could definitely hint more at the Fenoff, Zola team up and how that's factoring into things.
Right.
But then again, they don't really factor into things until I want to say the end of the Cold War, in the 70s. I want to say that's when
sure.
Into the fray, but I could be wrong. It's when Zola gets sick. That's when he's inducted into the thing. It's a reform. It's the reform Nazi sign, the Manhattan Project guys.
Right. All right. So, do you have anything else you want to say about this episode?
No. Again, just overall, I really thought it was great. I think Jarvis had some of his best bits. It was quite a way to bring back Dottie Underwood. A lot of fun, this is definitely one to rewatch because it's so much fun. This is basically why you do a second season, to kind of get our characters in really kind of bigger situations like this, and also kind of good character places, seeing kind of Peggy work through some physical issues. In this case, she has the can-do spirit, but sometimes you have to put things in perspective that if you do this, you're going to fail.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we are sealing up the box for now. Until next time, when we continue assessing Agent Carter.
Tune in next time, fellow patriots and spies alike, as we continue the further adventures of Agent Carter.
Miss Underwood, I have to say, you are a nuisance. But for the next 10 minutes, you will follow instructions, and you will conduct yourself like a professional. Is that understood?
Don't kill him.
No. Do the Jeeves thing.
Yes, sir, Jeeves.
Yes, okay. That's what I was waiting for. Have a good night, folks.